Hi, everybody. This is Mikkel, and we are back. We're going to pick up a few things that we talked about the last time, just a little bit of a recap, and we're going to continue on into the phase of using what we've learned so far to make some tunes. Now, before I continue, please do me a favor. Please hit the button and like, subscribe, and share to as many people as you can. My goal is to make it simple. There's a lot of people out there doing what I do, and a lot of them are good. They're no doubt. However, we all have different personalities, and so maybe you like them better than me, or maybe you like me better than them, or something. You know, you never know. Maybe one of us will say something or do something that makes you go, "Oh, that explains it," or "I understand that." You know. That's what I'm hoping for. You know, I think most of us just want people to learn. We want people to have fun and enjoy playing the keyboard or playing the guitar or playing the drums. I do all three, and I will have videos with those as well eventually. I need a set of drums. Long story, I don't have drums right now. I'm a drummer, and I don't have drums. That doesn't make sense, I know. Just go with it. Anyway, hit the button, like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, tell people, and it helps me out there. If you got a set of drums you need, you just want to offload, you don't need them, let me know. I'm in the market for a good set of drums. Anyway, so we talked about last time, on your right hand, the fingers you need to make a 3-note chord. A 3-note chord is a triad, and that is what you will play predominantly in your musical career on the piano. However, there are also 2-note chords known as dyads. You'll slide those in there as well, mix them all up in between, and they sound really awesome. And it's just using 2 notes at the same time rather than using 3. And you can play 4. I mean, you can play a lot of fingers, a lot of notes to make a chord, and you hear a lot of those things in a lot of music. On your left hand, you can do the same thing. And on your left hand, your numbers go this way. Remember this? Right hand. 1 is your thumb. 2, 3, 4, 5. On your left hand, 1 is your thumb. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. However, when you're looking at music and when you're playing the piano, and you're looking at the keyboard, and you're playing, your chord, the 1, 3, 5, we talked about that. Each chord has a 1, 3, 5 note position for the chord. That's what makes it a chord. Play 1, skip 1, play 1, skip 1. It ends up being 1, 3, and 5. If you used finger 1 on your right hand, finger 1, finger 3, and finger 5, those 3 fingers would play your chord, your notes that make your chord. The same thing actually happens on your left hand. Your 1, your 3, and your 5, they make your chord the same. However, on the piano, because the piano is numbered from left to right, low to high, 1 for the chord is over here on your left side, which is your pinky. Now on your hand, that's number 5. But on the chord, on the piano, that's number 1 for the chord. It's only really important when you're reading music and you're looking at what finger plays what. That's where that comes in. When you're just playing, that doesn't really matter because it's still finger 1, finger 2, finger 3. Oh, sorry, finger 1, finger 1, finger 3, finger 5. I don't know what I was thinking, throw that out. All right, so just for your knowledge. Now, we're gonna play with those. We're going to play with the scale. Every key has a scale. And just to help you out, between major and minor, major sounds happier. Minor sounds a little more down sometimes. Some people call it sounding more depressed or more agonized, or sometimes people call it sounding more soulful. A lot of different things. And major sounds more upbeat, more happy, sometimes more authoritative, that kind of thing. So there's some differences in the sound. major and minor keys. They all have their own scale. We are working in a major key of C, and we are working in the C major scale. Okay? And that's very simple because in the C major scale, you don't have to play sharps and flats. There are none. So it makes it easier to learn concepts and get them down. Then when you transfer those concepts to your other keys, it makes sense. So there's your recap. Let's dive into using that now to play some tunes. And we're going to keep them simple. We're going to keep them using what you already know. This is where you get your keyboard out. Follow along if you want to and play along. I'm going to try to keep it simple, but hey, you know, if I get a little crazy, that's what I do. Sorry. So let's do that. And again, your fingering is 1, 3, 5 for each of the chords, right? If you use the wrong fingers but still get the right notes, as long as it's right, as long as it comes out right, you can use some interesting different techniques. Now, the right technique will help your hands be in the right positions to play so you're not tripping over your hands, and it makes it smoother and all that. That's good to do. That you should practice that. But if you have to modify it just a little bit, that's okay too. It's all right. It's all right. Trust me, it's all right. I've been playing a long time. It's okay. No points off. All right, so here we go. So we were talking about in the key of C, and I found C by noticing that my keyboard is split into these nice little categories that I can look at, these little pictures. And I learned that if my picture looked like this, where I've got 2 blank spots with no black keys between the keys, and then there was 2 that if I came to this side of that, that was my C. And then if I use the alphabet, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, because it repeats, and it only goes up to G, then it goes over. And that picture repeats all the way up the board and all the way down. And of course, if I know the alphabet and I know my numbers, then I can do this. Now, your numbers start at 1 and go up to 8 in each scale, depending on what key you're in. I'm in the key of C. So I'm going to be using the scale of the key of C, which is the C major scale. Most of us have heard that at some time in our life, right? C major scale. No sharps, no flats. That means when I'm playing and making melodies and tunes and doing stuff, as long as I'm staying without sharps and flats, then I'm playing in the key of C, and I'm playing within the scale, the C scale that goes with that key. If I grab notes that are outside of that, for instance, if I want to do something like which is bad because I'm trying to do it with this finger right here, and I said in the last video, in one of the videos, I have a hard time reaching with my thumb over here. My fingers don't like to stretch, so I usually use these 2 fingers to hit 1 and 3 instead of using 1 and 3, and it helps me to stretch better, and then I don't mess up my notes. So if you see me doing that and my hands are looking like this, I'm still hitting the right notes, the right ones, even though my fingers are not the right ones. And that's okay, as long as you do it right. So back to what I was doing. If I'm going what I'm playing right there technically is not within the C scale. Why? Because I'm playing a sharp or a flat. One of the two, right? And in fact, in this case, it's going to be a B flat. Right? Now, there's a reason I might do that, because obviously it sounds good and it goes with it. Later on down the road, we'll talk about what that chord is actually called. It is a chord. There is a name for that. All these have names. There is a name for that. But I didn't want to get into that right now because it's a little more advanced, and we don't need to get into all that right now. But I'm just telling you that that's borrowed. We call that borrowing. When you borrow notes that don't belong in a scale and use them, they're called borrowed. And so I'm borrowing that. And the reason I'm telling you that early, even though that's kind of an advanced thing too, is because you'll see me and hear me do that a lot. It's what gives, to me, if you borrow the right notes, okay, they have to harmonize, and they have to fit, and they have to, be relative and things like that. They give you flavor. They give you the flavor that you're looking for. They help it along. It's kind of like having a good soup or a good something or other, and then you add a little bit of seasoning, a little bit of this, a little smidgen of that, and it just gives it even that much more flavor and brings it out. That's what that does in the way I play. Borrowed note. So you notice whenever I hit those, I'm borrowing those notes. Now that is a thing, but now you understand how that works. But you see the flavor that adds. So that's what we're doing there. I'm not going to have you doing that, but I just wanted you to be aware of it. So when you hear it and you see people doing that, you go, their main thing is in key, but I can see that they're borrowing some notes. Now, I can play in a key that actually just uses those as part of the scale, and that's a different key. But at this moment, what did I just do? I missed. All right, so what can we do in the key of C? Some fun stuff. We were talking about the 1, 4, and 5 chords of the scale of the key of C. If this is the C scale, then every single one of these has a chord. I can do it by a 2-finger chord. It's just play one, skip one, play one. 2-finger chords. Those are chords. And I can play those in the chord positions. Each one of these is a position. Position 1, because chord number 1, note number 1 of the C scale. Chord position number 2, because it is the second note in the C scale. Position 3, chord number 3. Why? Because 1, 2, 3. It is the third note in the C scale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Position 4, or chord number 4. Chord position 4. Chord position 5. Chord position 6. Chord position 7. Chord position 1. Yeah, you thought I was going to say 8. Sometimes we do say 8, but in music we actually say 1 because it is an octave of that. It is a replica of the first one. Since this is 1, this is 1 as well. It's just an octave higher. So this chord would be the 1 chord. This chord would also be the 1 chord, just up an octave. So when we say we're going to play the 1, 5, 1, that would literally be playing the 1 chord, the 5 chord, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the 1 chord. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I can take this one or that one. So I can go 1, 5, 1. I can go 1, 5, 1, 5, 1. So here's 1. Let's choose 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So if you hear me say, okay, 1, 4, 5, and we're talking about the chords, not your fingers, we're talking about the chords, then we're talking about the chords in the scale that you're in, and they're set. Each scale, those are set because of the scale. So in C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 is going to be F. 5 is going to be G. If I'm in the key of A, A minor. There's a reason for that. But anyways, A minor. And I said 4. Well, just I can see A, the scale of A minor, has no sharps and flats either, by the way. That's why I chose it. And if I said, well, how about the fourth chord, right? Chord number 4. Well, what's number 1? A, because I'm in the key of A. I'm in the scale that is the A minor scale. So in the key of A minor, in the A minor scale, A is the beginning, is number 1. B is 2, C is 3, D is 4, 5, 6, 7, and then back to 1. You can say 8, but it's actually back to 1. Now, if that's the case, and I want to play the chords, 2 fingers, or 3 fingers, a triad, which is what you're going to do most of the time. Play 1, skip 1, play 1, skip 1, play 1. Then chord number 4 is what? 1, 2, 3, 4. There's chord number 4. And then we said 1, 4, and 5 was our chords. So 5 is right next door, number 5. Number 5. Notice my fingers stay locked in that 1, 3, 5 position. Fingers number 1, skip 1, number 3, skip 1, number 5. All right? In every key you play in. So I can transpose my 1, 4, 5 just like that. And so I'm playing that in this. I'm going to finger it down here to just playing the 1, just playing the bass note of each one. And then go back to 1. Notice how that has a different feel, a different sound. That's what a minor chord, a minor key does. That's just 1, 4, 5. It's just playing with it, but that's just the 1, 4, and 5 chord positions from the A minor scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A. So, and if you want to know the names, A minor, B minor, C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, and A minor. Now, I will clue you in that there's a little thing in here called a diminished chord. I didn't tell you that because it's a whole nother level of explanation that I'm not going to get into. So for now, we'll just say it's in the minor toneology and it sounds good and leave it at that. And we'll get into the explanation of that sometime down the road. Alright, that's an A. So you can play around with that. You don't have to play any sharps and flats if you're in the A minor as well. So there's something you can play with. Back to C because it's fun. That's my metronome right there. I love the drums from a metronome, so there it is. Get down and hit the right keys. One, 4, 5. Come on. That's all it is. 1, 4, 5, 4, 1. 4, 5, 4, 1. 4, 5, 4, 1. You see how that works? 1, 4, 5, 4, 1. So when I'm hitting notes that are not the actual one, like this is 1, but I'm hitting this one with this hand, I'm hitting one of the notes that makes the chord for it. So if I come up here and I come in on, I'm coming in on this note. You say, well, that's not 1. No, it's not. It's number 5 of 1, 3, 5 that makes the chord that I'm currently playing. I'm hitting the number 5 of that chord. And if I jump up here to number 4 and I do the same thing, I'm playing with the notes, the 1, 3, 5 positions for my hand for the chord while playing down here the 1, 3, 5 position for that same chord, or just the 1 typically. So I'm playing the 1 for each chord down here, right? And then I'm playing the 1, 3, 5 and playing with those for each chord with my right hand in the chord progression of 1, 4, 5 chords. So 1, 3, 5 in the chord position number 1, 1, 3, 5 position in chord number 4, 1, 3, 5 position for my hand, right, for the chord, for chord number 5. You see that? So the chords are going in the progression of the scale 1, 4, 5, and then my fingers are going in the progression of the chord 1, 3, 5 for each chord. And that's how music works most of the time on the piano. That's just the scale backwards, by the way. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. Or or you can say 1, aka 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So now you can see why I said practice your scales. Do that. Play your scales all the way up, all the way down. But that's so boring. I'm never going to use that. Really? I messed it up. Two-finger chords. Just the scale. What was that? I came up and I hit number 3 rather than number 4. Did you hear that? I'm here rocking around here going, wait a minute, that's terrible. If you do that while you're playing, you know what you do? Pretend like it didn't happen, keep right on rolling. That's all you gotta do. Octaves. All right, guys, that's all we're gonna do just to kind of get you a little taste of where you can go. It gets much better than that. The more you do it, the more you add to it. The key is sit down, take everything you've been learning, go over it if you have to again, and just play. Take it slow. Build on it. It will get better and better and better and better. These are simple, yes. Simple's good. It gives you the concepts. It gives you what it takes. It gives you an understanding. And then when we start adding on to things that get a little bit more intricate, you understand them and you're already able to do the basic stuff. So that's not a big deal to tack on, okay? Like, subscribe, share, please. Leave me some comments. Let me know how it's doing, how you're doing, what you think, any questions you have, any arguments you have, any misconceptions I have, whatever it takes. And we'll see you later.